Hey y'all, Mama Snark here. We are staying here at the Drury Plaza Hotel, Disney Springs area. This trip it is just hubby and myself, so no children. And I wanted to do a little video on whether or not it's worth it to stay here versus staying at a value resort on Disney property. Because calculating it, staying here, depending on time of year and what kind of a room you get, it could either be the exact same price as staying at a Disney value resort. And when I say value resort, I'm talking about the all-star resorts, not Pop or Art of Animation. So it could either be the exact same price, a little bit more expensive than staying at one of the value resorts, or a little bit cheaper. It kind of just depends on discounts that are available, time of year, things like that. So I'm gonna do a video based on like, should you stay here versus staying at a value resort on Disney property? So for me, the biggest factor, am I coming with children? If I'm coming with kids, the biggest thing for me is that getting here, Mears Connect doesn't come here. So if I've got my children with me, I'm gonna have to find an Uber or a Lyft with a car seat, or I'm gonna have to pack my own car seat onto the plane, off of the plane, and we've got 2 little kids, so that's 2 car seats. Or book some kind of private transportation that'll take you to the Disney Spring area hotels, or get a rental car. So that kind of adds into the price and makes it a little bit more expensive. Also, if you get a rental car or you're driving yourself, because that's another factor. If you drive yourself, you'll have your own car. But do note that there is a $25 a night parking fee. There are no resort fees here, which is fantastic. But there will be a parking fee if you bring your own car or you have a rental car and you park here. So that's something to note. Disney resorts no longer have parking fees. They don't have resort fees or anything like that. So transportation is my biggest thing, staying here with little ones. Number 1, getting to and from the airport. And number 2, getting to and from the parks. So Drury Plaza does have its own bus shuttle transportation that will take you to and from the Disney parks. It is reliable and on time. I have used it and it's pretty easy to navigate. The only caveat is number 1, the schedule is not like the Disney buses where it's just like a continuous running loop, where it's just like every 15-20 minutes like clockwork. It's mostly on the hour, sometimes a little bit shorter, sometimes a little bit more. Also, it tends to share buses with other parks, so it's a little bit longer of a bus ride. Like today, I came from Magic Kingdom and it stopped at Epcot and picked up at Epcot before coming back to the hotel. So that's something to note. You were able to bring strollers on the bus. Same practice as a Disney hotel resort bus where you have to get everything out of the stroller and fold it down to bring it onto the bus. The bus itself looked pretty much like any other like Disney bus does. So that's similar. Complaint when it comes to transportation to and from Magic Kingdom is it's not going to drop you at the front gates by the security like the Disney hotel buses will. It drops you off in like a parking lot area outside of the TTC. So you're going to have to take either the ferry or the monorail to Magic Kingdom to security from the TTC. It's also not covered. So any of the bus stops outside of the Disney parks, unlike the Disney hotel buses, there's no covered area. It's just like a strip of bus stop numbers with like benches and wide open. So if it starts raining, like it currently is right now, you're gonna get wet. That wouldn't be fun with little ones. Like you can have a poncho and an umbrella and stuff and you're still gonna get soaked. So plan accordingly with that. Like if I was out there and it started raining, I would have paid for an Uber or a Lyft probably to come back because I don't like it wet. So that's a downside if you're staying here with little kids, in my opinion. That's the biggest issue for me. Like if I was coming by myself with one of my kids like I often do, I alternate which one of my kids I bring on little solo trips, little mama trips, and having to kind of work around that and deal with that, especially if it's like potentially going to be a rainy season, like hurricane season or something, I'm not sure it's worth it in that regard. Now, where it is worth it, you can walk to Disney Springs from here. That has been excellent. Like I said, I'm here on a trip with my husband. So we're two adults. Disney Springs isn't my favorite place. It's kind of just a glorified mall in my opinion. But hubby and I were able to walk to Disney Springs this morning, rope drop Gideon's, get my cookies and my cold brew that I wanted. If you're here on like, you know, an adults only trip and you want more restaurant options, being able to walk to Disney Springs is fantastic. You can also walk to Disney Springs if you're not planning on rope dropping, because Disney Springs doesn't open until 10. So if you're not planning on rope dropping the parks, what I did this morning was we rope dropped Gideon's, and then I went to the Disney bus stop, got on a bus for the Contemporary, because from Disney Springs, there are no buses that go directly to the Disney parks, because people were abusing that by parking for free at Disney Springs and then hopping a bus to a park. But what I did was hop a bus to Magic Kingdom. Going to Magic Kingdom, I hopped a bus to the Contemporary Resort, got off at the Contemporary, and then there's a walkway to Magic Kingdom. That's like a 5-10 minute walk, and I did that to get to Magic Kingdom, and then I took the bus from Magic Kingdom back here to the Drury Plaza. Another thing with the buses is that they highly recommend reserving a bus 2 hours ahead of time. I don't think it's necessary per se, because they didn't even ask for like my booking, like boarding confirmation or anything like that. Like I just got on the bus. If it's a super, super busy time, they might ask for that. So plan accordingly, be prepared. You might get turned away if it's a full bus and you don't have that reserved. Yeah. Other than that though, let's talk about perks here. For the same price as a Disney value bottom of the barrel hotel, you get a very, very nice gym. Like hubby just went and spent an hour in the gym. Nobody was in there with him, and he had an amazing workout. And it's nice and it's clean and it's big and great gym. You're not gonna find a gym on any of the Disney value or moderate level hotels. So for the same price as a value resort, you're getting great amenities. You have a nice full-size gym. They have laundry facilities. They have a great pool. They have a hot tub. You're not gonna get a hot tub at the value resorts at Disney. You don't start seeing hot tubs until you book a moderate resort at Disney, on Disney property. So great amenities there. They do have a little store here that has like sundries if you forget anything like Tylenol or cold medicine or feminine products or like toothbrushes or things like that. They have little snackages down there and stuff too. Another great amenity here, free breakfast. You are not gonna find free breakfast anywhere on Disney property. And I'm here to tell you that breakfast was phenomenal. Like I was highly impressed, and I was stuffed to the gills. Like we had breakfast at I think 8:30 in the morning. I was not even remotely hungry again until 2 p.m. And I'm not a small person, and I am a person that likes to eat. So yeah, they had Mickey waffles. They weren't Disney Mickey waffles, so they weren't the best. But if you're here with small kids and they see a Mickey waffle, they don't care what it tastes like. Douse it in syrup and they are happy campers. Breakfast potatoes, phenomenal. Juices, coffee, all of that included with your stay. That's a great value, especially if you are here with older kids, like teenagers, teenage boys. You can make your money back on just the free breakfast alone here if you've got big eaters. So that's a great perk to be able to kind of fill up before you hit the parks so that you're not spending a lot of money on food and snacks while you're there. Another thing that they have that most hotels don't, like I've never seen this at another hotel, it's called the 5:30 Kickback. And it is basically like a little mini dinner buffet with like kind of appetizer type dishes, like a salad bar, hot dogs. What else did they have? Nachos. And like the menu kind of rotates every couple of days, I think, but like the hot dogs and the nachos are always there. And each adult that is staying here gets a little drink card, and you get 3 free alcoholic beverages per adult per night. It is customary to tip your bartender. Like they'll have a little tip jar out there, so bring some cash with you to tip. And you can also make the drink a double, and they'll just check off 2 boxes. But you can get wine, beer, any kind of like simple mixed cocktail. Hubby got scotch on the rocks. I got a double margarita, glass of wine, and the little, Kickback buffet. That was enough for dinner for my husband and myself last night. And we're not small people. We are not on a diet. We both like to eat, and we both like to eat a lot, and we can both put away some food. And we were I was thankful I was wearing stretchy pants because I was hurting. So that's a great amenity that you are not going to find literally anywhere on Disney property. And again, this room costs the same price as a value resort. So yeah. Overall, I have been highly impressed with our stay here. The pool area, like I said, they have a hot tub. They also have a kid's splash pad area. They have a great big pool that has a little, kind of like a tanning shelf or a tanning ledge, but it's got an area that's super shallow, a shelf area that's super shallow for little ones to kind of sit on and splash around if you've got a little one and one that's a little bit older and wants to play in the pool. Splash pad area, hot tub. Every night from I think it's between 4 and 8, they have free popcorn and free sodas. They have soda machines available in the morning for breakfast and at night for that kickback. And starting at 4, they have the soda machines available as well as free popcorn on the second floor. So overall for me, it kind of boils down to transportation. As an adult, I would hands down stay here again. Another thing that I want to add is you can get the early entry into the Disney theme parks here if you book the package through Disney as a ticket package. I'm an annual pass holder, so I booked this hotel with an annual pass holder discount. So that's another thing, you do get annual pass holder discounts here. But we're not going to get early entry. I bought hubby just a regular 4-day or 1-day park hopper ticket, and I booked here on an annual pass. So I just booked it as an annual pass holder discount. So we're not going to get early entry to the theme parks. That's kind of a bummer, but I come pretty often and hubby doesn't really care. So it's not a make or break for me. Staying on site with little ones and getting that early theme park entry, regardless of what kind of ticket you book, if you book your ticket through Undercover Tourist or you have an annual pass holder like myself, staying at a Disney hotel entitles you to that 30 minutes early entry each morning. And I'm here to tell you, if you're taking little ones to Magic Kingdom or if you're going to Hollywood Studios, that can kind of make or break your day. You can accomplish a lot at those two theme parks with that early entry. Epcot and Animal Kingdom, it doesn't really matter for me. Those aren't rope drop parks for me. For me, Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom are my rope drop parks if I have kids with me, because you can knock them out. So if you're staying here and you didn't book a ticket package through Disney, you won't get that early entry. But if you do book it through Disney, as I think it's called a Good Neighbor or a Good Value hotel or something like that, you will get that early entry, as well as you will be able to book your dining 60 days out. The caveat to that is it would not let me do it on my Disney experience. For some reason, my tickets, because I have booked this previously on a trip where I ended up canceling and moving to Pop Century, but that's a whole other thing. So I have previously booked this as a ticket package through Disney. You can book your dining 60 days out plus the length of stay. However, it did not show up on my Disney experience. It only let me book 60 days out, and it did not give me the option to book past that, even though we were going to be here for 5 days. But I was able to call Disney, give them my confirmation number. They logged into my Disney experience, saw what was going on, and they were able to book my dining for me for what was available, because I was booking the Fantasmic dining package, and she was able to see that and book what I wanted. So just note that if you're staying here on a Disney ticket package and you want that 60 days out plus, you're gonna have to call. Also, you don't get the Magic Bands, the discounted Magic Bands included. So if that's something that's kind of important to you, that's another negative tick. Let me see, what else? transportation, magic bands, booking the dining, getting your tickets. Like I said, my tickets like didn't show up. So if you're trying to do anything with that, it's not going to show up until they told me whenever I checked into the Drury Plaza, that's when I would get my tickets. So that's something to note. Other than that, like I said, booking a trip as an adult where I don't really care about early entry and the transportation, I can book a Lyft if I need to. Like, I don't need a car seat, I'm an adult. If I'm coming with kids, I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna be hard pressed to beat staying at a Disney value resort even based on transportation alone and that early theme park entry alone if I'm with one of my kids, because those are things that are very important to me. So while I think my kid, and also like this hotel is not Disney-fied at all. Like, it's just a very clean, modern looking, it's got touches of like art on the walls that's kind of like Orlando, Florida themed art, which is very nice. It's a very pretty and aesthetically pleasing hotel. It's not going to be as exciting for children. Like, my kids like seeing the Mickey thing above the beds and the headboards at the Disney hotels. Like, that's fun for them, and being able to see like the giant statues and the big football helmets and the foosball table and things like that at the Disney hotels, they enjoy that. So for me, if I'm traveling with little ones, especially by myself, and if I'm not driving my own vehicle, I'm still probably going to book Disney Value Resort overall. That's loud. But if I'm coming back on an adults trip, this is absolutely an option I would consider again. In fact, I might look into it. I'm coming back on a girls trip in May, just myself and a girlfriend who's an adult, obviously. So we might look into booking here. Like, for the price, I'm gonna price it out and see between this and Pop Century. That's where we were looking into, because that Skyliner is just life. But yeah, the amenities here have been like absolutely astounding. So if you're not gonna be in the parks a whole lot and transportation doesn't matter that much to you, or you're driving your own vehicle, so you've got your car with you, I would highly suggest looking into booking here. But hopefully this was helpful and informative in making your trip, your plans. If you were kind of on the fence whether or not you wanted to stay here, if it was gonna be nice enough, if it was gonna be like kid-friendly enough. I can't give you a definitive answer because that's going to be based on kind of what you've got going on. But for me, if I do not have my own vehicle and I'm not getting a rental car, I'm still going to book Disney Value if I have a kid with me. Otherwise, I would 1000% stay here again. I have been very impressed and blown away. But thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, hopefully this was helpful. Make sure you give this video a like and a thumbs up. Hit that notification bell and subscribe to my channel. Follow along for more content. Bye guys.